I have all the proof of Diddy's gay parties. When I tried to leak the proof, Diddy threatened to kill me. I also have videos of Diddy performing sacrifices.
World-renowned Dallas pastor T.D. Jakes is named in a federal lawsuit against musician Sean Diddy Combs.
It's filed by a producer that worked with Combs. It discusses how the singer planned to leverage his relationship with the bishop.
With Diddy, he was using T.D. Jakes to fix his image. You believe that?
Well, we saw that to be true anyway. That's what he was trying to do all that time.
If Bishop Jakes was at a Diddy party, there could only be two reasons: money or sex. That's all that happens at Diddy parties.
It's all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. T.D. Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed.
He forced me and other celebrities into physical contact. Jay-Z and Beyonce are also with Diddy. I apologize to everyone for my wrong actions.
What if I told you that music mogul Sean Diddy Combs just faced a massive twist in his case, and it came from none other than Bishop T. Jakes, a powerful voice in the faith world reports, suggest he stepped in with something real, not rumors, not gossip, but information that could shift the entire narrative as social media lights up and fans react in disbelief. People are now asking what Bishop Jakes truly knows and why he decided to speak up now. This move has changed the energy completely, and it might just be the start of a brand new chapter in Diddy's public journey.
Women who said that they had been abused, saying it happened decades ago, and they thought that they could look at the evidence in this case, which is about assault, and view it fair and unbiased based on what comes into the courtroom. And one woman who is proceeding said she was arrested when she was 16 for shoplifting at Harry Potter's World at Universal Studios. The judge asked her what she stole. She said it was a...
Today in a New York federal courtroom, Sean Diddy Combs told the judge he was, quote, a little nervous. The rap mogul's criminal trial began this morning. He is trafficking, racketeering, and more.
Taking this album on has required so much time, months and at a time, 16 hours, 24 hours a day. Sometimes, Diddy will request certain works to be done and tell us don't go to sleep until it's done. And the truth is, we'll be up for days trying to accomplish that. I've tried to get my business straight with them on this album, but the truth is they're not playing fair. They hit me on below the belt on so many situations. Just dealing with this. It's the contract that they gave me and the offer that they gave me was just disgusting. The producer fee, pennies, and on top of that, these guys are trying to steal my publishing. I can't go for that, so I'm fighting back. He's a fighter, but I'm gonna put in this fight. I gotta do it for myself, my rights, and most importantly, my kids. Taking my publishing or stealing it, I'm not gonna let that happen.
It becomes intriguing at this point. Sean Diddy Combs, a giant in entertainment, fashion, and business, built a legacy filled with billion-dollar deals, luxury jets, and unforgettable parties. His name became a symbol of power and influence, and for years, he seemed unstoppable, but beneath the surface questions began to rise. Former insiders started speaking out, artists drifted away, lawsuits piled up, and soon headlines turned toward federal investigations, high-profile raids, and secret settlements that suggested something far deeper was unfolding. Yet, while the spotlight stayed on the spectacle, the real shift happened quietly in a courtroom where Bishop T. Jakes, known for his voice of faith and integrity, made a sudden appearance, changing the entire atmosphere. His unexpected presence raised eyebrows, and now the world is watching closely, asking what exactly is his role in a story that keeps getting more unpredictable.
And I'm gonna lay my hands on you, Bishop, and he said, and then it's on the that he's doing all of this, right? And then there's a woman on the day.
You've been to these parties, right?
Oh yeah, I was there when he was doing the white parties in the Hamptons and the whole 9 yards. So I know what goes on at the parties. If they probably got a little bit more freakier, as time went on, because they got to the point whereas that they didn't even care. It used to be secretly, where people used to go to, separate rooms and different rooms, and they wasn't doing that out in the public, but now they don't care. men kissing men and all this other stuff. That's just...
The deep and long-standing relationship between Bishop to Jakes and Sean Diddy Combs is something most people never discuss at first glance. They seem like complete opposites, one a spiritual leader preaching purpose and restraint, the other a hip-hop mogul known for influence and intensity. But behind the scenes, their paths crossed more often than anyone realized, especially in the early 2000s when Diddy was facing legal pressure and public scrutiny. Insiders say he began seeking spiritual guidance, and Bishop Jakes quietly became a mentor. Diddy was seen at Potter's House events, galas, and even megafest gatherings. Some believed Jakes was helping him navigate fame and personal struggles, much like he had with Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. But that rarely told story is now front and center for an entirely different reason. Reports say Jakes may have become aware of troubling information through private conversations, which he kept to himself for years, believing in redemption and growth, until something shifted in May when he reportedly received a flash drive and met with federal agents. Within 2 days, whatever was on that drive prompted Jakes to request a direct meeting with the judge in Diddy's ongoing case. He entered the courtroom quietly with his legal team. No sermon, no spotlight, just a flash drive said to contain sworn statements, recordings, and video evidence. And according to a court aide, the material triggered a closed-door session, leaving everyone asking what happened and why now.
Let's talk about the filth that's starting to come out in the early days of the Diddy trial. This, of course, is P. Diddy. Surprise, surprise, he's a creep. Surprise, surprise, he's done horrible things.
Dishonest, violent, horrible. A promiscuous swinger who lied to and cheated on multiple partners. Incredibly, that's how Sean Diddy Combs' own lawyers describe the billionaire music mogul, currently facing serious trafficking charges in a New York court.
A former staff member from Diddy's inner circle reportedly gave Bishop to Jakes a flash drive filled with emotional testimony and serious claims, seeking not just justice, but healing. Sources say she once attended his church and trusted him with what she had witnessed, including alleged recordings and sworn statements. Overwhelmed by the weight of it all, Jakes made the bold decision to take the evidence directly to court, breaking years of silence. Insiders reveal that a deeply personal family experience influenced his choice to act, and this time he chose courage over comfort, risking his reputation to stand up for those who had been silent for far too long.
World-renowned Dallas pastor T.D. Jakes is named in a federal lawsuit against musician Sean Diddy Combs.
It's filed by a producer that worked with Combs. It discusses how the singer planned to leverage his relationship with the bishop to soften the impact on his public image of Casey Ventura's lawsuit. Ventura is a former girlfriend of Combs who filed her own lawsuit in November alleging abuse, violence, and sex trafficking.
Meanwhile, Combs' lawyer is criticizing the raids at two of the hip-hop mogul's homes in a federal sex trafficking investigation. He called them an unprecedented ambush. It comes as we're getting a new look inside Combs' L.A. house after the search by federal agents. Carter Evans has details about what the feds have uncovered so far.
Guns, cell phones, and other electronics are among the items taken from the homes of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, according to a source familiar with the search warrant performed by federal agents at his properties in Los Angeles and Miami. TMZ says this video shows the aftermath of the raid inside Combs' LA mansion. Drawers empty, documents scattered, and safes opened and searched. Hours after the raid started, Combs was seen walking around the Miami Opa-locka airport, according to TMZ, which also obtained this video. Later, at the same airport, authorities arrested Combs' associate, Brendan Paul, and charged him with drug possession. In a civil suit filed against Combs by former music producer Rodney Jones, Paul was accused of being a drug and gun mule who allegedly aided Combs in sex trafficking. Yesterday, Diddy's lawyer called the law enforcement action nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. Could this federal investigation have come out of these private lawsuits?
Oh, absolutely. If it involves sex trafficking, or drugs, or weapons, or other illegal behavior.
Lori Levinson is a former federal prosecutor.
They've decided this is worth a lot of resources across the country. So once they've done these searches, they have evidence to follow up on. And if they've got it, they'll move on it.
We still here, you're rocking with the best.
Even though Combs has not been publicly named as a target of the investigation, he says he's now prepared to fight to clear his name.
Working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect. Why are you having me here?
I don't have to have you here. That's one thing that we can make clear. That's one thing we can make clear.
What happened to Danity Kane? Why did the band break up?
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me, not talent-wise, but in other areas. At the very end, he fired me.
Aubrey O'Day is going to be a witness testifying against Diddy.
Diddy trial. So according to Us Weekly, former Danity Kane singer Aubrey O'Day is set to testify in the Sean Diddy Combs high-profile trial. A source confirmed to us that O'Day was subpoenaed and has traveled to New York City to testify sometime this week or next. She's already here this week, but I don't believe she'll be able to testify this week because Cassie probably will be testifying all day tomorrow.
I am a very strict and focused businesswoman because working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
He expects.
Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question. The deal that we were offered, and when I say we, not every artist got it. Like Day 26 did not get it. But this is what it is. You can have your rights back to your music after Puff went under and somebody else bought our catalog. So this is long after we have 2 double platinum albums, $14, $15 an album from 2 million albums is, what is the math on that, 48 million?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm a mathematician, but maybe.
So $48 million somebody made on me.
About Aubrey O'Day being a witness testifying against Diddy, and I think the reports are 100% true, even though it's not been confirmed by the government. Aubrey O'Day did in fact touch down in New York City yesterday, and she posted this to her Twitter 2 days ago. You are standing at the edge of the season that will demand your truth in full voice. What you've hidden, denied, or feared will no longer fit the shape of who you are becoming. Doors that once ignored you will now open, not because you knock louder, but because you carry the authority of alignment. You were not late, you were right on time. And everything you thought was a detour was actually divine preparation. Stay rooted, speak clearly, and the shift is already in.
I just want to throw you the facts, okay?
Sure.
So this is long after we have 2 double platinum albums, $14, $15 an album from 2 million albums is, what is the math on that, 48 million? And this benevolent man who's just now had a change of heart and has decided to pay us as talent, we only get the amounts due since Sony bought our catalog.
Okay.
So streaming for the past couple years, it's about $800, $900. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs' music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public. I would like to do a documentary for Hulu or Netflix or Amazon, a streaming site. I offered some of the girls, hey, if you need $800, $900, I'll give it to you. Don't sign this. The fact that the kids are marching up to that court, praying over everything and walking in with a bunch of women also that are encouraging it. I don't know any father that would want their children to sit through testimony about how much their daddy liked to watch people lubricated.
They are going to start shaping multiple different charges that Diddy is being accused of. And not only that, they are going to corroborate what Cassie Ventura is saying, because things that they witnessed firsthand being around Cassie. She also alleged that Diddy had a very demeaning behavior towards them and made it very toxic, and that also plays a part into the forced labor charge.
We are going to hear from Cassie this week along with another witness named Jane. They said we're going to hear or we're going to see videos of these freak-offs, and it's going to be very uncomfortable.
He was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties.
I had Cassie and Sean. Basically, with the they told me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business. Cause what they would do is Sean.
And then be like, matter of fact, they sent me the girl. It's like, this girl, like, not the y'all saw.
Affleck actually recently walked away from J-Lo because these allegations were coming out.
And isn't there even some concern that, or proof that Pastor T.D. Jakes?
Well, I'm getting right there. So there's this big list that Diddy said, I'm not going down alone. Because Cat Williams went on a podcast a while back, and Cat Williams, who's a well-known comedian in the black community for a long time, he went on a podcast and basically just regurgitated all this information that was just so valid. And he said, all these people, he said, you got God on one side, and then you got the other side. And he said, the other side, they're all going down in 2024. And he mentioned that he was offered $50 million 4 separate times to join in with these Diddy parties to basically be sodomized. And he turned it down every time.
To help his career.
To bring his career to the next level.
You're on a raft.
Yes.
In the middle of the ocean.
Right.
You look in the water.
That would give me so much anxiety. Go ahead.
Oh, this is about to give you more
Okay.
anxiety. You look in the ocean, you see 2 people floating.
Oh,
You can only pull up one because that's how much room you have on your raft. You look in the ocean, you see Ben Affleck, and you see Diddy. That's it! J to the L, give me.
Officer Israel Flores. He's a police officer for LAPD, but more notably is before he used to work for Securitas, and he had worked at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City in California. So when they were talking about March 5th of 2016, this witness, who again was for the government, he got a call about a woman in distress on the 6th floor of this hotel. And so he says during his testimony, he had observed a male and a female in the lobby. He recognized that this male was Sean Combs. And so at the time he was working as the assistant director for the Intercontinental Hotel. So, his responsibilities were to respond to incidents, train trainees pretty much. And then he later on became the director. And that's kind of important, mainly because it kind of controlled what he was and wasn't able to do when it came to this surveillance video. So for example, as an assistant director, he wasn't able to rewind it past a certain time frame. He wasn't even able to download it or even download this video to attach onto the incident report or anything like that. So again, he was serving as an assistant director in that capacity at the time that this incident had occurred. When they were talking about the surveillance video, Officer Flores was talking about how every floor of the hotel had cameras. They were motion-activated cameras, by the way. Again, they had the capacity to rewind and download these types of videos, but only the director of security was able to do so, and he didn't take over that role until later on. But as far as him writing up incidents reports, because we got to see that exhibit was we got to see the exhibit of the incident report from that day in 2016. So before he responded to the call, he said he looked at the cameras, he saw a black man pacing back and forth. Then when he arrived onto the 6th floor, he saw Diddy, or Sean Combs, in a towel, and then saw Cassie in the corner covering her face. He said he didn't know it was Cassie immediately. He just pretty much recognized Diddy. He said that Diddy's demeanor, and this is a pretty interesting point, Jesse, was a blank stare, and said it was a devilish stare. Diddy at this point is still in his hotel, is still in his towel. He's still wearing socks. Another interesting point is that they refer to Cassie as Cece, but that she was pretty much scared and frightened, according to...
Sean Diddy Combs' trial just took an unexpected twist as over 100 names were shown to potential jurors during selection on May 5th in New York. According to Nux News, the list included high-profile celebrities like Michael Jordan, Mike Myers, and Kanye West. Although none are directly involved, jurors were asked if knowing any of the names would affect their impartiality. The list also mentioned women who previously filed lawsuits against Diddy, including his ex Cassie Ventura, whose case settled quickly, and Dawn Richard, who brought forward separate claims. While Diddy continues to deny all allegations, some now believe he may have lost the powerful backing that once shielded him, with the timing coming just 2 months after he ended a major business deal with Diageo. Many are beginning to wonder if that split marked the beginning of his public unraveling.